Hi there. Thank you for tuning in this evening. I know that we are coming up on our very last essay for this class, so I wanted to make sure that I was being very clear with what's going on with this essay and hopefully nipping some questions in the bud before they become problems for you as you're working through this essay. So the first thing that I'd like to be clear about is the possible topic ideas. First, you could choose first to do a problem that you've encountered as a nurse. Now, this might be something that you've encountered like as an employee, such as working with a boss, working with your coworkers, or it might actually be a problem that you've encountered as a in a medical setting, working with a patient. And I can assure you that talking about problems and issues that you've encountered as a nurse is not a violation of your HIPAA requirements, as long as you do so without including any identifying information. So for you to tell us about a particular problem that you had to solve, a particular patient you had to deal with, or a specific disease that you were interacting with, something like that, as long as you're not giving us any identifying information which could be traced back to a patient, you're definitely abiding by everything that you need to do with HIPAA. You might also choose, or you could choose to do a problem you've encountered here at Hondros College. There could be all sorts of things, maybe parking problems, maybe it's finding a good place to study on campus, all sorts of things. Use your imagination. Use your imagination as to different problems that you've encountered. Finally, and only as a last resort, so please try to do the first two topics, but if you really can't, then you can do something from your personal life. However, I would really prefer that you focus on the first two topic ideas here. So what are we looking for with this essay? Well, I'm pulling this directly from our textbook, but your problem-solving essay is asking you to identify a problem and then provide a solution for that problem. So that's the first task, is to identify a problem and demonstrate that it exists. So let's say we want to talk about parking problems on campus. Well, identify the problem, parking issues, and demonstrate that it exists. Well, I don't know how you might want to do that. Maybe you'd want to include some specific information relating to, an interview, for instance, with a classmate. Maybe you can offer some specific statistics of some sort. Whatever you choose, demonstrate that it exists. Then you need to think about your audience. Now remember, good writing is all about the audience. That is our main and first and primary focus, is thinking about our audience. So you need to think about, who is this person, who am I trying to reach, and then tailor everything that you have to say to that specific audience. You're going to make your claim and then propose several solutions. There may only be one, but try to think of more than one, and then organize them effectively. For example, you might want to start with the least likely, or the solution that is most difficult to accomplish, and then work your way toward the solution that is most likely to be implemented. Persuade your audience that the solution that you've presented is feasible and worthwhile. We can say, oh, well, if only there were a new parking garage built near campus, then that would solve our parking problems. Well, I don't know, is that feasible? How much does something like that cost? You're going to have to really think about that. Finally, you're going to end with a call to action. And that means that you're actually, in your conclusion, going to urge your reader to actually implement these solutions. So again, thinking back to this parking problem that I've kind of made up, who could we be talking to? Who would we be talking to? Who could actually have some control over solving this problem? Ask that person, that's your audience, of course, and ask that person to do something about it, right? That makes sense, right? So a couple of important items for you to consider. I really would like you to make sure that you're reading the articles in your book. There are several examples of writing in your textbook. There's one in particular that I really like. It's on page 304. It looks like this. It is this one right here. And it's actually a student essay. But there are, I think, 6 essays in here that you can use as good examples to kind of get your creative juices flowing. Remember also that this is not a narrative. So this is, even though you are beginning with your personal experiences, you're not simply telling, this is a problem that I had and this is how I overcame it. You're actually proposing some solutions for going forward. So this is not a narrative essay. You should not be using the first person here. As usual, if you feel you need to, use it in the intro in order to establish yourself as an authority on the topic. Okay, but by and large, you should not be using the first person. In addition, you should not be using the second person, which is you. So things like, you should be in favor of a new parking garage. It's just not very professional, and it's not very clean, and it's not very specific. So you might say instead, the campus administration should be interested in building a new parking garage, for example. Now remember also that this is the longest essay that you've written, and it's going to be, the final draft will be about 1,250 words. That's pretty, that's quite a bit longer than the other essays you've written so far, but it is totally doable, and I have total faith in all of you that you'll be able to handle this. As always, if you have problems or questions or concerns, there are a lot of people here who are here to support you and to help you get through this. If you're conducting research, and you do need to do that for this assignment, reach out to our librarian. She's great. If you encounter technical problems, such as using our Sakai website or anything like that, contact Sakai support. And if you have questions about content, about writing, about how to attack this essay, or anything else along those lines, please contact me. Here's my email and my phone number as well. So let me know how I can be of help. Thank you very much for paying attention. I appreciate your listening to this quick video, and good luck. Thanks.